Today I fucked up by returning a perfectly good Dyson fan by accident. Obligatory. This happened last week. A few months ago I splurged and bought a great little Dyson fan / air purifier. Dyson makes high quality products, so I knew this fan would last me a long time. Well, one day last week it just stopped working. I'm technically and mechanically inclined, so I did all the troubleshooting I could, but finally called customer support. After confirming the fan was still under warranty, the CS rep didn't really have me test anything, he just started the exchange process. He asked if I still had the box. I did, and packed it up right away. Even though I had all the packing materials, I couldn't quite get it to fit back in the box the right way, but I made it fit. A few days later my replacement fan arrived. Yay. I start to unpack the box, which is exactly the same as the one I returned. I lift off the top piece and see that the empty space I couldn't figure out what to do with actually held the power cord, which is why I couldn't get the fan to fit properly. The power cord, the one that plugs into the wall and the back of the fan. There is no way I'll ever be 100% sure, but I'm 99% sure I returned a broken fan that simply wasn't securely plugged into the back of the fan, but I forgot it's that kind of cord, so I never even checked. Too long didn't read. I returned a fan I thought was broken because I was too stupid in the moment to check if it was plugged in. Edit, thanks for the award. And update, I just got an email confirmation today from Dyson that my replacement fan is on the way. Lol. I once returned a water kettle because I couldn't find the bottom piece with the plug. Got a replacement, no bottom piece either, until I looked inside the kettle. Never been so ashamed. Don't worry, doctors usually unplug the baby when it comes out, so don't freak out if it doesn't come with one either. There's a few babies that aren't built right. How do I do a factory reset? Somebody at work left a small box, maybe 6 by 6 by 6 inches, macerator for me to deal with, equals throw out. A note on the box said customer return, doesn't switch on. I wasn't busy, and I'm a nosy bugger, so I unboxed it and plugged it in. Sure enough, nothing. Then I noticed a small odd-shaped piece sticking up from one edge of the lid, and a similar shaped hole in the side of the housing on the opposite edge of the lid. I lifted the lid, spun it 180 degrees, and put it back. The odd piece went into the hole with a click. Flicked switch, blades spun round. Worked perfectly. It's a safety feature to ensure that the lid is on when the blades are turning. I didn't look, but I'm betting there's a diagram near the front of the manual. Sigh. Today I fucked up by keeping my vibrator and cat snacks in the same drawer. Obligatory. This didn't happen today, although it is an ongoing FU. I moved into my current flat in Sept 2019. I have a set of drawers next to my bed. In the two small ones on the top row, the one nearest to my bed is used for random crap I could to find a home for, i.e. charger cables, batteries, plug adapters, old phones, stray jewelry, etc. One of the things I keep in that drawer is my vibrator because easy access. Don't want to be getting out of bed when you're in the mood. Anyway, lockdown happened and I started working from home full time, so it was the perfect opportunity to get a cat. He was a bit skittish at first, so in order to entice him over for some good boy pets, I'd give him a few snacks. It worked super well. He's massively food motivated, so all's good. We became best buds. I decided to keep some snacks in my bedroom drawers so that if I ever wanted him to come and curl up on the bed and was too lazy to go find him, I could just shake the bag and he'd come running. One evening, I was in bed and felt the urge to have some fun. I opened my drawer to get my vibrator out, switched it on, prepared to have a good time, and the cat came dashing into my room and leapt straight on top of me. Turns out that he now associates the sound of my drawer opening with snack time. The only vibrating that happened that night came from my cat purring after getting a few treats for technically being a good boy and doing exactly what I'd unintentionally trained him to do. I now have to close my bedroom door if I want to use my vibrator in peace. I say in peace, but he still meows outside my bedroom door if I don't let him in, which isn't the most arousing background music. Not a massive FU, but not ideal. Too long didn't read, unintentionally trained my cat to come dashing in and jump on top of me at the sound of my drawer opening because I keep the treats in there. However, I also keep my vibrator in there and now cannot get off in peace unless I close my bedroom door. My GF and I were on a plane. She was putting her bag into the overhead compartment, and my electric shaver went off. So she unzipped the bag to turn it off. Some of the passengers started smiling, and the stewardess said, "It's okay, honey." As she sat down, she asked, "Why did she say that?" I just smiled at her till she realized they thought it was a vibrator. She was so embarrassed. Her face looked like an apple. She covered her face. It was cute. It added more details, and corrected more grammar. I once put cat treats in my bedroom nightstand. My cat got the drawer open, took out the treats and ate the whole bag. I never put treats there again, but she still scratches on the nightstand when she wants treats and has me well trained to go get them for her on demand. I once put her brush there after brushing her, and then she started scratching at that drawer to let me know she wanted to be brushed. This is now a daily ritual. That's so adorable. My cat has figured out how to open his drawers that have his food in them. I discovered this after I got home and found cat biscuits all over the floor and the bag chewed to bits. Absolute pest. My cat thinks I have chicken nuggets whenever I get a text because DoorDash. Treats for the kitty, and a treat for the other kitty. Sounds like they belong in the same drawer to me. Smiley face. Start keeping it in the litter box. It's a hard pass to cat litter in the cooch. Today I fucked up by committing stolen valor, getting second-degree full-body burns, and making my clothes forever smell like marshmallow vodka. I recently got a sunburn which made me think of a particularly painful fuck-up from my stupid army days. Let me elaborate on the setting before getting into how dumb I actually am. This is a long story, so I hope you find my stupidity entertaining. It's San Antonio, Texas, 2012. I am a newly enlisted 18-year-old who spent my whole youth being a goody two-shoes. The second I signed my enlistment papers, I apparently decided that I was far enough away from home to live life to the fullest and push the boundaries. Just insert whatever shitty Instagram motivational quote, and that's what I used to justify attempting to get alcohol poisoning. It's hot as hell. We are being pushed at training 12+ hours a day, and I had just earned the right to wear my civvies on the weekend and get a free 8 hours to myself. So being a woman who has been stuck in the same nasty uniform for the last 5 months, I was thrilled to wear real clothes and explore the base that had thus far been off limits to us. Myself and 3 other female soldiers I had befriended decided to get our hair done. Side note, the hairdresser told me that wearing my hair in a bun for the last 5 months was damaging it, and could I please ask my sergeant if I could wear a different hairstyle so that I could maintain healthy hair. Lol, okay lady, I will be sure to ask. Anyway, there we are, sitting in the BX hair salon, and a bunch of Air Force gals walk in. We start chatting, and they told us that they had just gotten back from the base pool. Our devious little eyes lit up. We had heard rumors about this pool, but us army folks were absolutely not under any circumstances allowed to utilize it. Something about too many army guys getting drunk and forgetting how to swim. The lifeguards on duty had banned any more army personnel because they were sick of having to jump into the pool to save a drunk teenager from drowning in the shallow end. I guess they call us grunts for a reason. So we are talking about how glorious it would be to use the pool because it's July in San Antonio and it's regularly over 105 degrees. These absolute airman saints hatch a plan. They give us their PT uniforms and tell us to sneak in. If anyone asks, we are Air Force cadets and are completely entitled to use the pool and totally won't drown. Giggling at the genius of this plan, we hightail it back to the barracks, grab our swimsuits, and change into our stolen valor uniforms in the BX bathroom while one of the girls went and bought copious amounts of alcohol. Being the complete trash bag of a human that I am and also having little to no experience in high school with alcohol, I googled what beginners should drink. Marshmallow vodka was requested, and we filled our field canteens to the top. Here's where it starts to get into fuck up territory. We sneak into the pool, totally casual and not looking over our shoulders and giggling the entire time, and it is amazing. The pool is nice and cool. We got to see shirtless men for the first time in months. The marshmallow vodka is being inconspicuously drunk, sort of, and we are casually greeting each other loudly as airmen, while doing drunken salutes. At some point halfway through my canteen, I realized that drinking 32 ounces of straight vodka is, in fact, not a possible feat for a skinny 18-year-old woman. I pass out in the sun, belly full of marshmallow and heart full of rebellion. I grew up 50 miles from the Canadian border, and let me tell you that my pale princess skin has never felt the intensity of the Texas sun before that day. Hell, I didn't even put on sunscreen growing up because it's just not that intense. As I was shaken awake by my battle buddy so that we could make it back to our end of day formation, I realized my horrible mistake. From my feet all the way up to my forehead, I was covered in blistered second-degree sunburns. Like a scene from The Notebook, I raised my dying hand up to my friend and told her that I wasn't going to make it. She better join me on this pool chair, because there was no way I would ever be able to move again. Call a medevac. I was done. My hilarious friend proceeded to slap me on the belly and told me to snap out of it, only for both of us to be horrified as blister juice splattered across us from the force of her ill-fated slap. The shock that I was activity leaking all over this blessed forbidden pool motivated me to gingerly get up and hobble my way back to the barracks. I wish, dear reader, that this was the end of my fuck up and that I recovered and vowed to always wear sunscreen and never drink at pools again. But no, it was just the beginning of the pus-filled pain. The next morning, a glorious Monday of field training in the San Antonio heat, was excruciating. My stomach was covered in blisters that kept breaking open. The thing about military rucksacks is that they are pulled tight around your abdomen and shoulders, creating an even weight-bearing load that felt like the devil himself was piggybacking. Every movement caused more pain, but who was I to ask to go to sick call? I should have never been wearing clothes revealing enough to get a second-degree stomach burn. Bikinis were not on the approved civilian clothing list, because yeah, we weren't allowed to go to the pool. The sweat from the heat stung my raw and burned skin. Soldiers around me are reaching for their canteens and pouring water over their heads, trying to get some relief from the sun blaring down on us. I grab my canteen and follow suit, only to be hit with the nauseating smell of motherfucking marshmallows. The faint noise of a stifled scream escaped my throat as the electrifying sting from the vodka I had just poured all over my body seeped into my wounds. A smart person would have made sure that their secret alcohol canteen was not the same canteen they brought to the field. I was not that person. It may have been the heat, or perhaps it was the unrelenting humidity mixed with my own personal pus juices. Maybe even God himself decided to punish me for the weekend pool trip. But my uniform, rucksack, and canteen smelled of marshmallow vodka for the rest of my service. I scrubbed, I screamed, I sanitized and even bought some pyramid scheme essential oil bullshit to try to remove the stench. Y'all, I was desperate. If you had told me to sacrifice a small animal, I probably would have. This deed earned me the nickname Marshmallow for the rest of training, and I somehow convinced my sergeants that a cheap bottle of perfume had broken in my bag and that's why I smelled like the floors of a sorority house all the time. Okay. Who am I kidding? That probably did not convince them at all, but they gave me the grace that a teenager new to the army probably gets every once in a while. I drink tequila now. Too long didn't read. Airman gods graced me with a uniform. I got second-degree sunburns and spewed pus over a perfectly good pool chair, and poured marshmallow vodka over my face. Edit, pus has one S.